formal session today and call to order. And our invocation will be done by Chaplain Deborah Quam from the Virginia Beach Police Department, 2nd Precinct.
All right.
Welcome.
Please stand. Let us pray. Eternal God of many names, God of justice and font of wisdom, we ask your blessing on this assembly and the members of City Council gathered here tonight to do the people's business. Grant that through their discussions, intentional discernment, and decisions, the issues and needs which face Virginia Beach will be heard and acted upon effectively through compromise, integrity, open communication, and respect. We pray for the good earth that God has given to us to protect and the wisdom to conserve it. Enhance the well-being of all citizens of Virginia Beach, that they may know this council works in their best interests, and together we may achieve a fairer, more unified community to the benefit of all. In the name of the sacred mystery that binds us to one another as the human family, amen.
Thank you. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, Madam Clerk, do we have a roll call?
Yes, Your Honor, all present excluding Councilmember Berlucci.
Mr. Bellucci is not here? Not here, correct?
That's correct. He's
Okay, good. I'm
excluding
having
him.
a little hearing impairment
No problem.
today. Thank you very much. Okay, now I'm going to ask for a motion for the certification of the closed session.
Second.
Okay, I guess the vote is open.
Give us just a second. Not yet. The vote is open.
Thank you.
By a vote of 10 to 0, you have certified the closed session to be in accordance with the motion to recess.
Okay, thank you. Now I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the minutes of the informal and formal sessions of August 16th, 2022, and the formal session of August 23rd, 2022. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right.
Did you set the item? The vote is open. No, I'm sorry. Give us a second. Just. The vote is open.
Not yet.
I'm sorry. Now it is. Vote is
Here
open.
we go.
Mr. Moss, if we could have your vote. Thank you. By a vote of 10 to 0, you've approved the minutes as submitted.
Okay, thank you much. At this point, we're going to have some public hearings. First of all, is the acquisition by agreement or condemnation to construct a pump station, Ray Eastern Shore Drive, drainage improvement, section 1D, Lynn Haven Drive Pump Station Project. Any speakers?
One speaker, Barbara Messner.
Good evening.
This microphone's weird. It was working before. What is with it? Can you not start the time if the microphone isn't working? You pull this all the time. Okay. Acquisition or agreement by condemnation. Pump station. You've destroyed the environment, and you had a bond referendum, and you advertised, and the first phase for, building more of these retention ponds that just are hideous all over the city. You're not mitigating, you're destroying the environment. And the tree canopies, all these fancy names. I don't know how many of y'all have seen the pictures of the dumpsters behind Oceana Crossings shopping center that I've sent you. There's new ones, it's even worse. Bay Mechanical and some of the other ones. There's filthy stuff, contamination from the dialysis, from the breweries. So, I'm opposed to you condemning and taking more property for pump stations. Some of them are from the 20s and 30s, from Norfolk, that you've never taken care of. All the budget goes to corporate welfare. Okay, so that's all, just that one. Okay.
Okay, is that?
Since I have 1 minute left. The Hatch Act. You're on all of these videos that you make. Your pictures are up there. You're having fundraisers for each other. That's a violation.
Okay, could you stick to the item?
I am sticking to the due process.
As per speaker policy.
This is how you're running the meetings. The Hatch Act, Virginia Code 22 VAC 40-675-2108, which also applies to Mr. Holcomb, who wore his sheriff's uniform on Wavy TV 10 today. Thank you.
That's all the speakers, sir.
Okay, next item is under public hearings. Change the central absentee precinct for the November elections to Building 23 within the municipal center. Any speakers?
We have one speaker, Barbara Messner.
Amazing that all these candidates that don't show up and all the people that usually show up about changing the polling stations. Building 23, it's this month. Early voting is this month. And because of all this construction, nonstop construction all over the cities, including Municipal Center, it says change absentee precinct for November elections to Building 23 within the Municipal Center. You've spread what is municipal public works, parks and rec, everything all over the city systematically for decades. There's no way to notify everyone at the last minute. And this is off campus, North Landing Road. You have one road over there, Integrity. There shouldn't be any roads named Integrity right now. I support the police, but they need to be able to do their jobs. So I'm opposed to this change at the last minute. And 90% of the documents, I passed your friend, I'm glad you think it's so funny, Mr. Ingram, your public policy, Rod Ingram, because I thought maybe you had moved the meeting back and forth. And he said that Mr. Ingram, Deputy City Attorney, was taking care of this for him. But you should be well aware that 90% of your ordinances are not signed. There's scribbled initials. And the city clerk's duty is to witness and affix the city seal, which we still have, but those flags we can barely see back there when we pledge. It's not due process. And it would be pretty easy now that Lewis Jones isn't here to change the election so they don't change the meetings so they don't compete with the school board and they don't compete with like the first day of school and everything. So I'm opposed to this. Thank you.
Thank you.
And could somebody fix this?
That's all the speakers, sir.
I mean, I'm not the only one using it. This is.
That's all the speakers.
Okay, thank you. At this point, I want to remind everyone that the city council speaker policy that allows certain representative of groups to speak for 10 minutes applies only to planning items. All other speakers, whether speaking individually or on behalf of a group, will have up to 3 minutes to speak on a single item. Speakers are reminded that comments during the formal session of the meeting must be limited to the subject of the item called that is being considered by the council at the time you are called. For items placed on the consent agenda, a speaker will have up to 3 minutes to address any single item. If a speaker wishes to address multiple consent items, the speaker will have a cumulative total time of 6 minutes to address those items. Again, the speaker must limit his or her comments to the subject matter of the items they have signed up to address. Finally, I call upon all speakers and all persons in the chamber to be civil in their discussion and decorum. Whatever views you hold and wish to express, the City Council wants to hear from you and to ensure that all the viewpoints and all persons are respected. The best way to do this is all of us to strive for civility and respect. Madam Clerk, do you have speakers for multiple items?
Yes, Barbara Messner. Ms. Messner, the items that will not be considered on consent, so you'll speak separately on only, are number 1, ordinance and resolutions number 1, and planning item number 3. You'll speak on all other items during this 6 minutes.
You know,
If you could please stop messing with the microphone, we had it fixed for you. He came out and fixed it.
This is not how it usually is. Good thing I have a sense of humor that I'm not, okay, so 6 minutes. So everything, the only thing pulled are 1 and a planning item, correct?
Planning 3, yes.
Okay. Direct city manager to submit a grant, a gift, air money for the Virginia Trail, requested by all of council. You know, we have crime all over the city. A woman was just attacked on one of these trails. You can't keep putting trails and roads and having events all the time when the only place you have the police are at the ocean front and certain areas. Okay, school board's interim agreement on these schools. You're wasting public-private education money, Public-Private Education Act, for sports. It goes to private developers and then select banks finance. These schools should have been taken care of. One council member, Mr. Moss, he ran in 2011 on fixing Princess Anne High School. That's one of the most blighted schools on the planet. It's a little bit late to be doing this. Okay, I already spoke on the absentee precinct, but I oppose this last-minute change. Okay, performance contract with Commonwealth, mental health development, substance abuse disorders. Contract. You have contracts with United Way. They don't have the best reputation, neither do y'all. Okay. Oceana crossings. like I said, you approve everything there. It's nothing but an alcohol manufacturing and distribution. And y'all even advertise all these fancy name beers. You spent at least a couple million, probably more now that you advertise on, TV to support these. So I opposed the tattoo parlor. The sign went up ahead of time. And there's nothing for families. There's no USO. There's nothing for families, nothing for the military, nothing for our kids. And, okay. $500,000 for technology for the circuit court. Another conflict for the council member Holcomb. I still don't understand how Mr. Holcomb and Taylor Adams can have 2 jobs at the city. That's absolutely insane. And we pay for the travel. I haven't had time to go over all your travel expenses. Thank you for not charging me. Okay. Behavioral health. Y'all need to learn about behavior. Okay, Reed Enterprises. Okay, which one? Anyway, on seized assets, taking money for seized assets. Mr. Moss asked me before to bring proof. This is the 2019 thing. Y'all have been cited by the Institute for Justice in D.C. Taxation by citation.
Ms. Messner, we have to stick to
It is
the topic.
on here. It is on here. Seized assets is on here. I guess you don't have to read it. Okay. DEA takes innocent man's life saving. Policing for profit. I hope people who are listening will support and subscribe to the Institute for Justice. Civil forfeiture. Fines and fees. They go after people. They go after people for school choice. Okay, FBI cash grab. Citations.
Thank you.
That's all the
Okay.
speakers.
Okay, Madam Vice Mayor, if you could be so kind for the consent agenda.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Under ordinances resolution, starting with number 2, the resolution to direct the city manager to submit a grant application regarding the Virginia Beach Trail requested by all city council. Number 3, resolution to approve the school board's entry into an inter-agreement regarding the design work at Princess Anne High School, Betty F. Williams, Bayside 6, and Bayside High School, requested by the school board. This is going to be deferred until October 18th, with Mr. Moss voting no, Mr. Rouse voting no. Number 4, ordinance to amend City Code Section 10-1 regarding the change the central absentee precinct location to Building 23 for the November elections. Number 5, ordinance to extend the date for satisfying the conditions regarding closing 10,645 square foot portion of right-of-way known as Lord Dunmore Drive. Number 6, resolution to approve the FY 2023 performance contract with the Commonwealth of Virginia regarding the mental health, developmental, and substance use disorder services. Number 7, ordinance to appropriate $532,319 to the FY 2022-23 Clerk of the Circuit Court operating budget regarding technology-related expenses. Number 8, ordinance to appropriate $276,903 from the police, federal, and state seized asset special revenue fund balance to the FY 2022-23 Police Department operating budget regard to the purchase of 3 K-9 specialty vehicles and training. Number 9, ordinance to accept and appropriate $90,580 from the Department of Motor Vehicles, DMV, to the FY 2022-23 Police Department operating budget and authorize 50% in-kind match regarding overtime equipment expenses related to speed enforcement. Number 10, the ordinance to accept and appropriate $54,530 from the Virginia Department of Education, VDOE, to the FY 2022-23 Parks and Recreation operating budget regarding support early childhood programs at Princess Anne, Bow Creek, Kempsville, and Williams Farm recreational centers. Number 11 says the ordinance to accept and appropriate $47,200 from the Department of Motor Vehicles, DMV, to FY 2022-23 Police Department operating budget and authorize 50% in-kind match regarding overtime training and equipment expenses related to the DUI enforcement. Number 12, ordinance to accept and appropriate $34,349 from the Library of Virginia to the FY 2022-23 Public Library operating budget regarding purchase books and other materials for the city's public libraries, print, and digital collections. Number 13, ordinance to accept and appropriate $29,400 from the Department of Motor Vehicles, DMV, to the FY 2022-23 Police Department operating budget and authorize 50% in-kind match overtime related to enforcement of seatbelt and occupant protection laws. Number 14, ordinance to accept and appropriate $21,000 from the Virginia Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Services to the FY 2022-23 Department of Human Services operating budget regarding the assist of 9 individuals to the community for health and household needs. Number 15, ordinance to accept and appropriate $4,673 from the Virginia Department of Behavioral Health and Development Services to the FY 2022-23 Department of Human Services operating budget regarding projects for assistance in transition from homelessness, the PATH program.
I open a public hearing on planning.
Number 1, Reed Enterprises Incorporated 1, a Virginia corporation, and Liberty Transmission and Auto Care, Inc., a Virginia corporation, for a modification of proffers to a conditional rezoning conditional use permit regarding auto repair garage at 3041 Holland Road, District 2, formerly District 7, Princess Anne. Number 2, Joyce Nelson, Shelley Gray Schweitzer, and Suzanne Gray for a conditional change of zoning from conditional B2 Community Business District to conditional Ag 2 Agricultural District regarding single-family dwelling at 2748 West Landing Road, District 2, formerly District 7, Princess Anne. And then number 4, T-Mobile and City of Virginia Beach for a conditional use permit regarding communications tower at 2068 Lansdowne Center Way, District 2, formerly District 7. Number 5, world-famous Oceana BHS, Inc., Oceana Crossings, LLC, for conditional use permits regarding tattoo parlor and body piercing at 1375 Oceana Boulevard, Unit 118, District 5, formerly District 6, Beach. Number 6, the world-famous BHS, Inc., Glen Haven Investment Partners, LLC, for conditional use permit regarding tattoo parlor and body piercing at 2980 Virginia Beach Boulevard, District 8, formerly District 5, Glen Haven. Number 7, Jenny Corporation, alias Property, Salem Crossings, LLC, for conditional use permit regarding tattoo parlor at 2029 Lynn Haven Parkway, Suite 200, District 7, formerly District 3, Rose Hall. I move for approval.
Do we have a second?
Before, oh, go ahead, second.
I
And
second
then,
it.
and then Ms. Henley had something she wanted to say.
Okay, then, first of all, Mr. Rouse would like to say his objections to, the one item, and then Ms. Henley on the planning item.
Right, thank you.
Would you like to speak to? Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The reason for my no on ordinance and resolutions number 3, resolution to approve the school board's entry to an interim agreement, a design work at Princess Anne High School, Betty F. Williams, Bayside 6, and Bayside High, as requested by the school board. The reason why I don't agree with the deferral is for a number of reasons. Number 1, a 30-day deferral, I'm typically inclined to support that. But in this case, it is a priority of mine and an interest of our community and city to put our schools first. Make sure our students and our parents and our teachers have the most modern, up-to-date schools that they can to improve a modern teaching environment. And I think that is done with action and not just rhetoric. My concern is that putting off or deferring this for 30 days to basically look at our debt capacity in its totality will have one to basically have our schools compete against other interests. And that is something that I'm just not comfortable with. I think our schools should absolutely come first. And so last but certainly not least, this money has already been allocated throughout our budget. This is not new money we're having to go and find. And so this money has already been allocated. This is a great PPEA agreement for us to, interim agreement for us to have. But the reason for this deferral was based on a what if. A what if we enter this agreement and then schools decide to speed up their construction plan. I don't like to deal in what ifs. I like to understand what do we have now before us. We have this agreement before us. We have the money that's been allocated now before us. So why do we need to defer it for 30 days to look at our debt capacity? When we look at our debt capacity, now our schools basically going to have to compete against all the other different interests. To me, our schools should be a priority, and that's the reason why I voted no for a deferral.
Thank you, Aaron. Mr. Moss?
I just wanted to note I was abstaining. The Commonwealth Attorney has given me opinion that since my wife is a school teacher and this issue singularly deals with the schools and the schools only, that is at a conflict of interest and I must abstain. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay,
Mr. Mayor?
Barbara, on item planning 3?
I believe Rocky wanted
Oh,
to.
yeah, Rocky.
Just a point of clarification on I-3 was a 30-day referral, so we could gather more information on this. Am I correct?
That is correct.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes?
on item 3, I will also abstain because this is one of the projects that my business had a contract with, and I have since resigned that contract, but just to make sure that there's no perceived conflict of interest, I'm going to abstain.
Okay, and if the city clerk can take note of that, please. Okay,
Thank you.
And I have a letter on file.
thank you, Mr. Moss.
Thank you.
Okay, Barbara?
Yes, I need to address the planning item 2, which is the Nelson Schweitzer Gray conditional change of zoning from conditional B2 to community district to conditional Ag 2 to allow one single-family dwelling at 2748 West Landing Road. The zoning ordinance states that in the noise zone of 70 to 75 decibels, that a dwelling of any kind is only allowed if city council determines that there is no other reasonable use of the land. We certainly want to honor all of our agreements with the BRAC on ordinances of this nature. And so therefore, I think it is important that we specifically address the requirement in 1804A of the zoning ordinance, which states, it shall be the policy of the city council that no application shall be approved unless the city council finds that no reasonable use designated as compatible under the applicable table or tables can be made of the property. In such cases, the city council shall approve the proposed use of property at the lowest density or intensity of development that is reasonable. This particular property had for many generations been a very small marina. That was back in the day when there were not any other houses in that area except the family house. In 1997, the owner of the marina just wanted to make a small addition, but in order to do that, since it was a non-conforming use, the property had to be rezoned to B2. Since that time, that area has seen a few residential houses built there. But also since that time, the marina is just shown to be not profitable and closed quite some time ago. This is in an area where the road is extremely narrow. As a matter of fact, the speed limit is 25. And so B2 is really not an appropriate use. And the only reason it was allowed was because this had been a long-standing non-conforming use. So it was kind of spot zoning when it was done. But now that it's been shown that that is not a reasonable use, and the only reasonable use would be one single-family dwelling, which would be compatible with the area, I think that it's appropriate that the city council find that this is the only reasonable use of the property and allow it to revert back to Ag 2.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Sabrina.
I just wanted to make a comment as it relates to item I3. Although my vote reflects a yes on this item, I just want to make a comment in terms of, as I stated earlier during our work session, that when we do this comprehensive look at our budget and how it reflects or how this issue is going to be compared with all of the competing issues or funding requests within the city, we just need to be mindful we cannot dilute the issue that the school board is bringing before us. I think it's important that we understand the program, the solution that they're bringing forward to us, and look at it on those merits. While I do understand my colleagues' concern to look at the comprehensive impact, that's important, but we don't want to dilute this issue. We want to make sure that we're focused on the school board and their resolution and vote accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, at this point, the vote is open. Consent agenda. Okay, thank you. At this point, Vice Mayor Wilson.
Mayor?
Yes.
Councilmember Wooten, I need your vote, please.
Pardon?
I need Councilmember Wooten's vote.
Yes, I pressed it before.
Thank you.
Pressing it again.
By a vote of 10-0, you have approved the consent agenda as read by Vice Mayor Wilson, noting Councilmember Moss's abstention and Councilmember Rouse's, and Councilmember Miles's abstention and Councilmember Rouse's no vote.
Okay, thank you. At this point, Vice Mayor Wilson is adjourning to address some family business. Okay, at this point, let us go forward with ordinance number 1, and that is to add Article 16 to the City Code 35 to establish disposable plastic bag tax.
First speaker is Barbara Messner. After Ms. Messner will be Nilson Baxley. And Ms. Messner, we have adjusted the microphone. Thank you.
Thank you. I assume y'all remember when I brought the paper bags and said it's unsanitary to use paper bags instead of plastic? And since you brought this up, I've noticed the grocery stores, the restaurants, there's bubble wrap, there's all kinds of plastic. It's your duty not to have plastic on the beach, not to have events on the beach. You yourselves pollute our waterways. You allow Floytopia. People were arrested for not taking care of their children, but because, you can sell alcohol and have a big event, you approve it. We don't need to be taxed. You can't create taxes. You have $3 billion debt. And Ms. Wilson left. You can't have a supermajority 10 vote when people abstain. Mr. Moss, you should certainly know that. And, all of y'all, you violate due process. You violate, the fact that it's a supermajority when it's land, when it's air money. And I guess Ms. Wilson left because she was the one that started the penny tax when she was elected in 2000 or 2001, which helped create Pleasure House Point.
Can you please stick to the agenda item?
I am. Pleasure House Point is where Chesapeake Bay Foundation and Lynnhaven River Now was created. So it is a conflict. We subsidize that. $13 million tax dollars. And now, you want to tax us to clean up? You've never enforced the litter law. If we charged you for every time you litter our beach and put those porta potties draining into the ocean and the dog mess that you just comb, you're liable for everything. Thank you.
The next speaker is Nelson Baxley. After Ms. Baxley will be Sarah Gerloff.
Welcome.
Hi, good evening. My name is Nelson Baxley, and I'm a senior at Princess Anne High School in the IB program. And it's nice to see all of you again. I was here a couple of weeks ago with Court 48 and was introduced as a Neptune Princess. But today I'm here to strongly encourage you to pass the ordinance imposing the 5-cent fee on disposable plastic bags in our city. Since 6th grade, I've been very passionate about and involved in waterway cleanups with Lynn Haven River Now. And this picture shows a Lynn Haven River Now event. It's a great example of truly how much trash is found in our waterways from just a singular 3-hour cleanup. And on this particular day, the other volunteers and I collectively picked up 2,100 pounds of litter from our local waterways, and the majority of which was plastic. And early on in my involvement with these river cleanups, I was able to identify plastic bags as one of the most major pollutants in our city. When I got to high school, I shifted my focus from just cleaning up the litter to the actual prevention of plastic bags in our city. And over the past 4 years, I've researched and collaborated with local environmental groups to advocate for the passage of a plastic bag fee in Virginia Beach. I modeled my proposal after similar efforts that have been successful in other cities and states across this state and the country. On December 14th, 2020, I submitted my formal proposal to the Virginia Beach City Council of this 5-cent fee, and I followed up on July 14th, 2021. And I'm very excited to see that the VB City Council is finally considering this issue. But I'm also discouraged that 10 other cities in our Commonwealth beat us to this very important environmental milestone. As a coastal community, Virginia Beach should be the leader, given the far-reaching impact our bodies of water have on the Atlantic seaboard watershed. The 10 Virginia localities where the disposable plastic bag fee already applies are nowhere near as close to the watershed as Virginia Beach, with a few even being entirely landlocked. Our environmental decisions impact not just our city, but cities across the whole globe, thanks to our proximity to the ocean. I have lived in Virginia Beach for my entire life, and the number of plastic bags that I have personally handpicked from bays, beaches, and marshes in the city is unacceptable. What our community is putting into the water is just gross. This proposal would be a very significant step in the right direction for the health of Virginia Beach and serving as a very strong deterrent to using plastic bags. Limiting the number of plastic bags that are taken home from grocery or retail stores limits the number of plastic bags that are littering our community and eventually other communities as they drift up or downstream. I strongly encourage the City Council to vote in favor of imposing a fee on using plastic bags in Virginia Beach. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
The next speaker is Sarah Gerloff. After Ms. Gerloff is Mickey Bicey. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. So your thrones and pedestals are up there so high, I got a kink in my neck. Your Majesties, I come before you today to beg of you not to impose another tax, fine, or fee upon we the peasants, because we have been doubled, triple, quadruple, and zamzuple taxed. There are taxes on this, taxes on that, fines here, fees there, taxes everywhere. Taxes we pay the Fed, taxes we pay the state, fines that we pay when we are too late, fees to go hunting, fees to go fish. These fees should disappear, I really, really wish. Taxes on our gas, taxes on our cars, taxes on our property that can reach from here to Mars. Taxes on our food, taxes on our drink. So many taxes, it's hard to even think. Tolls on our road, taxes at our stores, so many taxes, we can't take it anymore. Since the Fed has been printing money as if it grows on trees, why not just ask them to print some more instead of charging us taxes, fines, and fees? You'd think with all these taxes, we wouldn't be so far in debt. Where did all the money go? I'd like to make a bet. So I have spoken on this plastic bag tax before. Obviously, I do not consent, since this is yet another scam to extort money from the people. You have been stealing money from the people in the form of unconstitutional and exorbitant taxes, fines, and fees for a long time, thus also stealing their valuable time by causing them to spend more time working and less time enjoying life and with their families. You are addicts, addicted to money and power, and your addictive behavior has caused harm to many. You are not popular in the community. The majority of the people that show up at the council meetings want something from you, money or rezoning for their project, whatever it is, but it's for them. These people are not your friends. They are just here because they want to get something from you. A real friend will tell you the truth, even if it's ugly. A real friend wants you to behave properly so good things will come to you and to others. There are only two people showing up consistently that fit that description. We care enough to spend our time, our valuable time, to come down here and call you out and tell you the ugly truth. You have a problem, and the problem is you. Our city is a mess because of you. All of this time, you thought you were getting away with your bad behavior. But remember, God sees and knows all that you think and do. God knows what you will do even before you do it. Your clown party was over before it began, and we are done with the forces of evil in this bozo nightmare. You lost, and you have a debt to repay.
The next speaker is Mickey. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what your last name is. There you have it.
Welcome.
How are you doing? Great, thank you. Y'all are my dire enemies. Wow. On the trash thing, I'm opposed to the bag for several reasons. Several of the things are true, false, otherwise, but here's where we're at. It's a well-painted trash cab that sounds real popular for a photo op, as you all know. The plastic bag is huge. It makes a big bang. It's really a useful tool. You could put trash back in it, and you can throw it away. It doesn't have to blow down the street. I drove here for 17 miles today. I saw 17 pieces of trash, not one bag, 15 cups. 8 grams of plastic, microplastic in the waterways. 20 grams, sorry, that's not correct. This is 20 grams of debris in our waterways. This is the trash that I see. This is the same 8 grams of trash that is in this bag that's not going to be taxed because we care so much about the environment. I get the environment. Hey, I'm a liberal as they go. This bag, which I have to buy and pay a sales tax on, is really too big for one day's trash. I don't know about you, but I take my trash out daily. This works just fine. This plastic strap, which ties this so conveniently, weighs the same amount as this bag. And we're going to talk about plastic being a waste. It sure is. I'm a commercial diver. I know what's down there. Very few bags. But here's what's down there. 7 grocery bags a week. If you think about it, you can ball this up into the size of your hand. And it's gone. That's the size of it. Here's the trash. And it's all the packing that comes in the packaging that gets delivered right to your door via Amazon 4 times a day. But yet we're concerned with this bag and want to put a 5-cent tax on it. The bag costs 1 cent average, depending on their volume, of course, and the location of their geographics and where they're located. You want to tax it 500% of the cost of the bag. Meanwhile, this other trash resides. This isn't getting taxed. The drink container isn't getting taxed. Just this bag right here. If you want to go after the environment, and we're all for that, I'm going to back up here a little bit. You talk about the one-use bottles that there's no tax on, the other fertilizers that are overburdened on everybody's green lawns, the oil runoff from the parking lots, those are all not taxed. There they sit. They're just draining right into our waterways. Here we don't tear. We're going to do a behavioral.
Thank you, sir.
My 3 minutes are up.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to leave my comments.
Okay. You can leave them with the clerk.
And I appreciate the time that y'all spend doing this every day. I know that it's not easy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Mark Swingle is next. Thank you. And after Mr. Swingle will be Ella Dunbar.
Good evening.
Hello again, Mr. Mayor, City Council members. Thank you. I think you know me, but my name is Mark Swingle. I work with the Virginia Aquarium Foundation, and I think I'm here speaking today for a large coalition of folks in the city that support this plastic bag fee as a step along the way to beginning to reduce plastics, single-use plastics in our environment. Obviously, it's not a silver bullet. There's lots of different plastics, as we've heard. We all know this, but this is a proven strategy and a proven methodology for reducing the use of single-use plastic bags. I know that you all have received many hundreds of letters of support for this issue. In addition to that, there are a number of organizations locally like the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, the Virginia Aquarium Foundation, and even some city commissions like the Clean Community Commission, the Green Ribbon Committee, and the Parks and Recreation Foundation that all support this step along the way to making our city more sustainable and to getting sustainable use of single-use plastics where we need them. But in this case, this is a real simple step. Again, 9 localities across the state have already done it with no significant pushback having done it. No one has to pay this fee. All they have to do is have a reusable bag, and nobody has to actually pay for this. So I think it's the sustainable way forward. I think, as you've heard from a number of people, there's a great deal of support for this locally. I think it's an important step along the way. And as I heard, I think in your informal session, we do support a vote on this. I know you've talked about deferring it, and I think that's okay. Obviously, it's your decision. But we support a vote on this before the end of the year. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
The next speaker and last speaker is Ella Dunbar.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for having me here tonight. And I wanted to say up front that I'm opposed to the tax on the bags. We have the same goal, but the issue is how we achieve that goal. I have not seen any public information campaign targeting the public on this issue. You're proposing to impose a tax to correct a problem where the public has not been properly informed of better options. Is there any reason why the city wouldn't provide a few reusable bags to households paying real estate taxes as part of a public service campaign? Perhaps things of that nature would better inform the public in a more meaningful way and perhaps elicit the desired behavior. You should consider how the least among us are affected. Consider the people most negatively affected by this tax. Also, what is the responsibility of the retailer in this? Everyone used to use paper. I worked as a cashier going to high school and college, and they still could. They used to give you an option. They use plastic bags because it is cheaper for them. In this scenario that you're proposing, it seems to me that they get a free ride, and consumers have to pay upfront for a service that retailers naturally would provide. These savings to retailers will not be passed on to the consumer, and I think that is not fair. The consumer does not choose the type of packaging provided by retailers. Instead of taxing the consumer, why not restrict what the retailers use? They don't have to use plastic bags. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's all the speakers, sir.
Okay, Mr. Tower, do you have a motion?
I do.
We were going to make a presentation first from our committee.
Yeah, once we get the motion and the thing, then we'll open it for discussion.
Okay.
In deference to Councilwoman
Councilmember
Hanley,
Tower, could you turn your microphone on, please?
Sorry.
Thank you.
in deference to Councilwoman Henley and others who've asked for this, and in hopes that the education program that I think has been very good so far, but happy to continue, I'm going to move to defer this matter until December 6th. Is that the right meeting date? In first voting in December, is that right, Madam Clerk?
December 6th, yes.
December 6th. I'm going to move to defer this till December 6th. I'm determined to get this to a vote, and I'm running out of time to do that because my term on council is coming to an end. This is a significant improvement. I know, and just for the benefit of some people watching who may not know, that a number of the great suggestions about how other ways we can improve our system of use of plastic, some of those are not available to this city acting on its own. Some of those would require the state of Virginia to act. That's just the way the law is. But this is one that is available to us. It's been available for a while, and as one of our speakers so artfully put it, she's disappointed that we weren't first in line. I'm not worried about that. I just want to get it done. It's been on the books in the state now long enough that we've been able to see the good effect that this law that's been adopted in other jurisdictions has had, and I think it's time for the beach to do so. Excuse the little speech going with my motion, but I'm going to move that we defer this till December 6th. And I hope those of you who are listening to this that support this will let us know that. If you have questions about it, I'm sure many of us, including me, would be glad to answer any questions you have about it in the interim also. Thanks.
Can we get a second? Then we'll have Ms. Henley.
I'll second that to my colleague.
All right, Barbara.
After the deferral, the first deferral, Mr. Branch and I served as the council liaisons to the work that was being done to investigate this process that we might have to address this issue in another fashion. And you had a report our last meeting from the listening sessions that we had. And we have approached this in the manner that has been recommended in our updated sustainability plan. And that is to look at the major areas of social, economic, and environmental. And as we make our decisions, not only this one, but others, that we look at each of these areas and find the balance so that we aren't making one area have to have undue consequences because of something we try to achieve in the other. So if this one is an environmental issue, we want to make certain that we're balancing the impact on the social and the economic stakeholders involved. And so our listening sessions invited people from all of these areas, and then everyone else that we could find to come to one of the listening sessions or to respond on the website. And what we found, of course, if we're going to do something, we have to figure out what it is we're trying to achieve. And our goal, which everybody agrees to, is that we want clean, healthy, beautiful waterways. Now, how do we go about achieving this common goal? How do we balance all of these perspectives? And another thing that we heard overwhelmingly was that a good comprehensive approach is what we need, not just one angle. And I know that we have heard that, well, you have to start someplace, but instituting a new tax kind of seems to be a rather extreme way to some to try to do this if that tax might do harm to certain income levels, or to put the burden on another area, the retailers, to enforce this or to make it work might also not be exactly the best way to go about it. So in trying to figure out how we could reach our goal and balance all of these concerns, we looked at things that are already in place that we're doing. And each of you council members should have a little document here that talks about next steps. So we looked at what we already have, because we certainly don't want to go out and create a lot of new programs for doing this, but what do we already have in place within our city. For example, the public library has a litter toolkit for hosting cleanups. We have, of course, a vibrant recycling program that needs to be maybe made better. Could we do more public messaging about the right way to recycle? And that would not only help this issue, but also would help our recycling program. What are proper recycling techniques? We could highlight existing volunteer programs that we already have. The storm drain marker, adopt a drain program, both of those in public utilities. And of course, we have the Virginia Beach Clean Community Commission, which has this as its mission, and others. We also have many special days that various organizations promote throughout the year. Could we enhance communication and encourage more participation for events like Clean the Bay Day and E-Cycle Day and Beachy Clean and so forth? And then there's the opportunity that we have to relate all of this to our watershed education. If we're going to be trying to improve our waterways, then it's important that people know what waterway is impacted by your property if you don't pick up the litter, or if you don't make sure the pet waste is taken up, or so forth. So increasing knowledge about our watershed is important. And then highlighting other existing services that support sustainability. So how can we have an action plan? Because I think it's important if we're going to see if we need to have this tax in order to achieve this goal, if we can do it in another way that's more comprehensive, that involves more people in a voluntary way that works together and maybe achieves more than just this one aspect of the plastic bag issue. So we're suggesting that we encourage neighborhoods and community groups to host a fall cleanup event in October. October can be our fall cleanup time, our fall cleaning time, which we all think about. And we invite every neighborhood to host a cleanup in their neighborhood. We invite businesses to do some maybe education or some effort to encourage their people to do things. Let us know what their businesses are doing. What are the retailers already doing? We can encourage industry partners that we have and other nonprofits to give away things like reusable bags or stainless steel straws or reusable beverage containers. I think I've kind of been counting what I see on the side of the road too, and it comes up to be those drinking containers, the cups of various kinds. And so we also can ask our retailers who have asked us to look at another way, if they could accelerate their removal of single-use bags. I think they have a target date of 2025 to make sure that they have taken out this plastic bag and substituted it with something else. And could they accelerate that? And they also had been the ones who recommended doing an MOU with us. Well, what would be in that MOU? So if we just try to do the things that are on this next steps list, which don't involve new programs, which don't involve new staff, it just involves doing what we're doing. And we ask all of our stakeholders, which is everybody, because we all have a stake in this, to participate with us. And we do it voluntarily, and we see how it works. But I think an important thing would be if we sort of designate October as the cleanup time and involve as many neighborhoods as we can. It also will give us a chance to get people working back together again, and maybe we can make this work. So this is going to be something that I look forward to working with and hope we all can take part in, and we'll see if our folks can address this issue voluntarily and see where it goes.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion second. Any other conversation? Okay, Rocky and then Linwood.
Mr. Mayor, I want to echo what I heard out here tonight, where let's bring this to the vote. I certainly appreciate all the conversation about this, and I'm certainly in favor of the environment, and I think we all need to do our part. But I would like to see it go to a vote, because I don't have the stomach to put this tax on our citizens that are already paying more money at the gas pump and in the grocery store. And I do appreciate all the work that's been done on this, but I think that I need to just be clear in saying that I don't support this tax on our citizens. And I hear people call it a fee, but it's clearly a tax, and I don't think the citizens deserve it. So I'll be voting no. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Linwood.
Well, I was just going to echo everything that Ms. Henley said. And one thing we have found out from all of our listening groups is that everybody is in agreement that a clean environment is what we want to achieve. And there's a lot of good ideas floating around. I'm particularly impressed with the retailers and how they want to participate. And I always think it's good when you're going to do a major initiative to bring everybody to the table before you pass it. And that's what we're doing now. We're going to continue to work on it. So I appreciate the deferral. Thank you very much.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, vote is open to defer till December.
By a vote of 8-1, you have approved the deferral till December 6th.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, now we're going to open a planning item, and we're going to bring forward item 3, I believe. KFJG Canopy LLC, School Board of the City of Virginia Beach for conditional zoning from A12 apartment district to conditional B4 mixed-use district with redeveloped property up to 132 multifamily dwelling units and commercial use at 1413 Laskin Road. Any speakers?
The first speaker is Rob Beeman. He's the attorney for the applicant.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. For the record, my name is Rob Beeman. I'm a local land use attorney with the Troutman Pepper Law Firm here today on behalf of the applicant, TFJG Canopy LLC. Joining me this evening is Mr. Taylor Franklin, who's one of the principals of the applicant, together with a couple of other members of our development team. This application involves an approximate 12.41 acre site located at the corner of Laskin Road and Freemark Drive, which was formerly a elementary school. The site is currently zoned A12 and is located in the Hilltop SGA. The applicant proposes a conditional rezoning to the B4 district in order to accommodate a mixed-use development that would include 132 multifamily residential units, a 6-story office building with possible top-floor restaurant, 10,000 square feet of commercial space, and a restaurant out parcel. I think it's important to mention that the multifamily component of this deal is currently permitted under the A12 zoning classification, and that the rezoning is to permit the mix of uses, including commercial and office. As noted in the staff report, this project is consistent with the SGA plan's desire for mixed-use development along this corridor that includes commercial and office space, and is also consistent with the plan's goals of increasing recreational opportunities and pedestrian connectivity along this corridor. Additionally, the proposed use is compatible with surrounding land uses, which largely consist of office and multifamily residential. In conclusion, the applicant is excited about this opportunity to bring a high-quality mixed-use development to this portion of Laskin Road. The proposed use is consistent with the SGA plan, is consistent with surrounding land uses, and would represent a significant investment in this corridor. We appreciate your time and consideration of this request, and we'll stand by for questions.
Okay, thank you.
The next speaker is Barbara Messner. After Ms. Messner is Dr. Robert Lema.
Okay. Yeah, I'm opposed to this, and I've brought maps before y'all. Most of y'all remember. It's a jet crash zone. There was an elderly woman that owned the property on Laskin and used eminent domain to harass her and make her move. And then you built a school over there. You moved Laskin Road over there on her property. There's nonstop construction. It's high density. Yeah, this is ridiculous to have more high density over there. Even if the jets move, which they're trained and practice, they fly in circles. Yeah, we should not have mixed use. Mixed use is use HUD money. You put in retail. I watched one of the things, he talked about 2 restaurants. There's no parking. And the infrastructure is terrible. You've had jet fuel spills. You've had the sewer spill that contaminated the waterway. So this is outrageous to redevelop property. Trying to think who it is. He's on planning now. He was on Parks and Rec. Lobbied for a rec center there. We don't really have a rec center for the residents there. That's huge property, a lot of land. The kids used to play soccer there. This is the wrong location. And everything you do, you're controlling air, where we go, what we do, parking. There's not going to be any parking. I heard y'all talking about parking in the residential neighborhoods. That's a problem with short-term rentals, with all the businesses in the neighborhood. Recommendation approval. You hire these people to put this stuff through. They don't take care of zoning. And what about all these dumpsters all over the place that are, some of them have caught on fire, others are leaching, and you don't do anything about it. There's no OSHA. When you tore down or renovated Building 2, you didn't even mitigate for the asbestos. You didn't mitigate for asbestos on the Cavalier deal.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The next speaker is Dr. Robert Lama.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and everyone in the council. I'm Dr. Bob Lehman. I'm a pediatrician in Virginia Beach. I live across the street from the property. I'm also vice president of the Lynn Lear Civic League there. This is my first time ever speaking to you guys. So I got this notice just last week in my mailbox. It's 2 pages long, but we were only given 1 page, and it has a small map here. It's 1.5 inches by 2 inches telling us about this. We, as the residents across the street, have never been given the courtesy of what this is going to look like. We don't know what the facade is going to look like. I'm not one who really knows what if 11.96 units per acre is high density or low density or average or whatever. I don't really know what A12 and conditional B4 zoning is, but none of my people do. But we're being told that you're going to be voting on this tonight. I think what I'm going to be asking you to do is to defer this until we get some sort of information on this. As you know, Laskin Road has been widening, and we're dealing with that. We don't know what the ingress and the egress are like there, and we really don't know what any light that, I don't know of any light that's going up anywhere near this area. If you're going to put in 132 units and you want to have people going in and out of here, I think we'd like to know how that's going to be. I'm not opposed to it, but I don't know anything about it, and I should be one of the people who should know about it if I'm on the Civic League. I dare say nobody really does know what it's like in my area, so with respect, I would ask for you to defer this until we get some information about it and see what the facade is like, and I appreciate your allowing me to speak tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Beeman, would you like to come back up for rebuttal? Okay.
Okay, at
That's
this
all the
point,
que-
do we
that's all
have a
those
motion?
speakers.
Move for approval.
Motion
Second.
for approval, second. Any other discussion? And Mr. Moss?
I just want to note, I'll be abstaining for the very same reason. This is school
Yeah.
board property. I have a letter on file. My wife is a teacher. I'm abstaining, but I would like to thank them for all the good material they sent me that I did read.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor?
Okay, yeah, yes, Delcino and then Glenwood.
Sure, a question. Certainly, I'm sensitive to public input. Just wanted to hear from someone from the team what you did do to reach out to the community about this project ahead of time. And also, given the proximity to the ocean front and their hiring challenges, is there any opportunity for more affordable housing? I know that Mr. Taylor Franklin's been a wonderful example of how to get that done in other projects. I was just wondering if that's included in this project as well.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much for your question. As you mentioned, the Franklin Johnston Group, who is an affiliate of the developer, is one of the largest proponents, I would say, of affordable housing in the city and owns a number of projects that are actually 100% affordable. They have an affordability component on some deals, and some deals are market rate. This is one of the deals that would be market rate.
And in terms of your input, the community engagement, what was done there?
Yeah, in terms of community engagement, of course, the school board held several public meetings, and of course, as per code, there are signs that are posted and letters that go out to all the adjacent property owners. So everybody should be notified that these applications are coming through.
So it just gives me some concern if that's the case, then you have someone right across the street who did not know about this until just a few days ago.
And the only thing I would add is and I don't know exactly where the gentleman lives, I know that most of the properties directly across the street have been acquired by the city as part of the Laskin Road widening project.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Glenwood?
Well, I just would like to say to the speaker that asked about a traffic signal, that there is going to be a traffic signal at Wynwood and Laskin Road as part of this project, which is going to greatly relieve your concerns, sir. Thank you.
Okay, anything else? Okay, the vote's open.
Ms. Miles, may I have, thank you. Can you close it? By a vote of 8-1 with Councilmember Moss abstaining, unfortunately, it's showing no vote, a no vote for Councilmember Berlucci and Ms. Wilson, but they are both absent. So it's.
Oh, you're out of order, miss. Thank
This
you.
application has been approved.
Okay. Okay, at this point, we're going to ask Barbara Henley to, review over the appointments. Thank you, Ms. Henley.
All right, these nominations for Active Transportation Advisory Committee, student members Dylan Blando and Thomas Langford. For the Atlantic Park Community Development Authority, Delcino Miles. For the Audit Committee, and these are council liaison positions, also Councilwoman Delcino Miles. The Bayfront Advisory Committee, Council Liaison, Delcino Miles. The Clean Community Commission appointments, and these are student members, Sine Lindsay and Mariella Munez. For the Community Policy and Management Team, Eileen Smith and Gregory Smith. For the Development Authority, William Brunke, Taylor Franklin, and Penny Morgan. For the Hampton Roads Planning District Commission, Councilwoman Delcino Miles. For the Historic Preservation Commission, student member Jenna Morris, and reappointing Natalie Hubbard, also a student member. For the Housing Advisory Board, reappointing Ann Crenshaw. For the Human Rights Commission, appointing a student member, Simone Nyad. For the Investigative Review Panel, reappointing Susan Mayo. For the Military Economic Development Advisory Committee, appointing Christopher Choate. For the Oceana Land Use Conformity Committee, reappointing Joe Ferrara and John Parker. The Old Beach Design Review Committee, Paige Myers. For the Parks and Recreation Commission, reappointing Jill Ewell. For the Public Library Board, appointing Charlotte Zito and reappointing Neely Gihan. For the Southeastern Public Service Authority, appointing Jeremy Klein. For the Transportation District Commission of Hampton Roads, appointing Megan Gribble. For the Virginia Beach Community Development Corporation, reappointing Christopher Brown, Jeremy Crane, and Robert Ewell. And for the Wetlands Board, reappointing J.C. Barney. For the Development Authority, City Council Liaison, appointing Michael Berlucci. For the also City Council Liaison to the Military Economic Development Advisory Committee, Rocky Holcomb. For the Minority Business Council, Councilwoman Delcino Miles. Appointing John Moss, Councilman John Moss, liaison to the Flood Prevention Bond Referendum Oversight Board, and Councilwoman Delcino Miles, a liaison for the Housing Advisory Board. And I move the approval of these nominations.
Okay, the vote is open.
I think I need a union rep.
It's all about you, Delcino. Congratulations. Welcome to the club.
Happy to serve. Yes, sir.
And what have I done?
Mr. Rouse, Mayor, may I have your vote? Thank you. Mayor, may I have your vote, please?
Oh, yeah. There we go.
You do. Absent, see how that works. By a vote of 9-0, you've appointed those as read by Councilmember Henley.
Okay, thank you very much. And at this point, is there any old business to discuss? Any new business? Then we are adjourning, getting ready for open mic.